Welcome back to Reds Fusion LFC, your home for all things Liverpool FC. Today, we're diving deep into the VAR chaos, Howard Webb controversy, and the latest Pgmol drama after that Virgil van Dijk flashpoint. Plus, we've got updates on Alexander Isak's issue and why 5 Liverpool stars are giving Arne Slot some serious headaches right now. Stay tuned. This one's packed with drama, facts, and fiery Reds passion. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with every twist and turn in the transfer window. Liverpool critics and conspiracy. Theorists are missing the point over Howard Webb. Complaint Liverpool have come under. Fire for questioning the process that saw Virgil van Dijk have a goal disallowed at Manchester City on Sunday. There are few things more tedious in football than debate over a controversial refereeing decision, and rarely does such seemingly interminable chatter ever lead to a general consensus. Liverpool became embroiled in the latest such example on Sunday afternoon when what would have been a first-half equalizer from Virgil van Dijk in their eventual 3-0 Premier League defeat at Manchester City was contentiously chalked off with Andy Robertson deemed to be interfering with play in an offside position. Not many agreed with the decision, with the Reds going as far as to contact referee's body Pgmol to express significant concerns over how the decision was reached. It was convenient timing, then, that Pgmol bigwig Howard Webb was due on camera on Tuesday evening for the latest edition of box office staple Match Officials Mic It Up with former Liverpool striker Michael Owen. Webb's insistence it was not unreasonable for the officials to disallow. The goal did little to assuage the feeling of disgruntlement among those in the club and the fan base that the goal should have stood. For the Reds to contact the Pgmol in such a manner is unusual. Unlike some other clubs with email always at the ready, they keep their powder dry for decisions that often result in opening up a wider conversation. Such was the case in September 2023 in the wake of Luis Diaz failing to have a goal register on the score sheet at Tottenham Hotspur despite it being permitted. Following a VAR check, only the myopically biased could claim Liverpool didn't have good reason to complain about that incident, and it prompted a change in how VAR communicated during incidents. Broadcasting the most egregious error to disallow a valid goal despite an incorrect offside decision at Tottenham against Liverpool in 2023 proved a watershed moment that prompted a more professional approach, said former referee Graham Scott. Speaking in the Telegraph, that should not have been necessary, granted, but it is the truth. As if to show the progress, the comms on the City-Liverpool offside decision could not be more clear, calm and concise. Liverpool knew quite well their complaint wouldn't alter the result. A dismal defeat that Arne Slot afterwards readily accepted was well-deserved after a dire first-half performance. Nobody disputes that. So for anyone to suggest the Reds are just bleating about the outcome is entirely missing the point. This is about questioning the process, as they successfully did 2 years ago, and ensuring there is clarity and consistency going forward with such decisions. Manchester City's late winner at Wolves last season, which was almost universally received as being correctly allowed to stand, is the obvious comparison. Indeed, most clubs can point to occasions when they have been left baffled and unamused by the interpretation of the offside rule. At the risk of becoming the old man shouting at a cloud, in previous times the goal would instantly have been disallowed without any complaint given where Robertson was stood. Those past days, though, have long gone given the constant tinkering with the offside rule, and that points to the seeming dichotomy of its implementation. It was changed to encourage more goals, while VAR appears more intent on finding reasons to chalk them off. Putting aside the inevitable and patently daft claims of conspiracy, largely made on the strength of Michael Oliver, increasingly at the scene of questionable decisions, being the VAR for Sunday, this is about ensuring such arguments don't take place again. Did Liverpool complain to shine the spotlight on the job of the officials? Of course they did. Did it distract temporarily from criticism of their performance at the Etihad? That is beyond dispute. But their upset at losing a goal on Sunday could in the future become their gain, and those of their rivals. Should their complaint encourage such offside calls to be more objective than subjective, and become more consistent as a consequence. Everyone wants to know where they stand, but for now at least, this conversation is over. After all, Slot has more than enough other things to worry about during the international break. Alexander Isak issue now clear as 5 Liverpool players give Arne Slot serious worry. How Liverpool's players have been rated by the Echo so far this season, with Dominik Szoboszlai, Mohamed Salah and Alexis Mac Allister causing a stirwell, that still wasn't very good. Liverpool may be making steady progress in the Champions League, but meek elimination from the League Cup and a dreadful run of Premier League defeats underline the performances of Arne Slot's side have overall left something to be desired, and that is very much prevalent in how so many individuals have struggled to get anywhere near their best for a variety of reasons, with the difficulties of most of the new signings, adjusting to new roles and methods, having been apparent. The Echo has rated Liverpool's squad throughout the 18 games they have played in all competitions this season, marking them out of 10 for every appearance in which they played, for at least 15 minutes. The men who have impressed Dominik Szoboszlai, average rating 7.25, remains the undisputed player of the season with his outstanding displays last week against Aston Villa and Real Madrid underlining that. Fact: Alisson Becker, 6.78, was in good form until hamstrung but could be back after the current international break, while the absence of Ryan Gravenberch, 6.59, was keenly felt in midfield before his recent return. Curtis Jones, 6.50, meanwhile has been reliable when called upon and perhaps merits greater starting opportunities. Best of the rest Georgi, Mamardashvili, 6.44, has proven a safe pair of hands when deputizing for the injured Alisson, while Federico Chiesa, 6.40, has done a job whenever called upon, although his impact has lessened of late. Virgil van Dijk, 6.38, may not be at top form, but he is still Liverpool's best-performing defender this season. And Hugo Ekitike, 6.38, started the campaign well but has struggled a little. More in recent games. Andy Robertson, 6.36, and Connor Bradley, 6.21, have demonstrated themselves to be the most dependable on the left and right side of defense, respectively. Despite a handful of disappointing shows each, Cody Gakpo, 6.19, has been steady rather than spectacular, despite the odd goal, and will hope to regain his place on the left flank, having been in the past week overlooked, with Slot favoring Florian Wirtz, 6.13, whose displays have been better than some have suggested in the number 10 role. Must do better Mohamed Salah, 5.94, regressed significantly in October. But better performances against Villa and Real Madrid suggest he is over the worst in his dip in form. The same could be said for Alexis Mac Allister, 5.82, who is almost up to full speed after a fractured preseason and is now able to last longer in games and make more of an impact. The form of Ibrahima Konate, 5.69, has fluctuated wildly, with his display at Manchester City on Sunday. One of 4 occasions he has scored lower than 5. Alexander Isak, 5.63, though, has become a concern given the seeming lack of understanding with teammates when available, while Milos Kerkez, 5.29, has shown only glimpses of why he was signed for $40 million from Bournemouth during a very disappointing start to his Anfield career. Of those who haven't quite played enough games so far this season to be included in the rankings, Rio Nangumoha, 6.80, scores highly on the basis of top marks for his winner at Newcastle. That Jeremy Frimpong, 5.71, doesn't rank says much about his injury problems. Joe Gomez, 6.20, probably deserves more minutes, and Wataru Endo, 5.80, hasn't really had chance to get going. Liverpool Pgmol theory emerges after VAR audio released amid Virgil van Dijk flashpoint. Liverpool were denied a first half equalizer against Manchester City, with Virgil van Dijk's goal ruled out for offside, after Andy Robertson was adjudged to be blocking the view of the goalkeeper. Premier League icon Alan Shearer has voiced his opinion on the disallowed goal from Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk in their match against Manchester City on Sunday. The centre-back believed he had netted an equalizer in the first half at the Etihad Stadium, only for the linesman to flag Andy Robertson for offside, claiming he was obstructing the opposition goalkeeper. The full VAR audio was made public on Tuesday, with Michael Oliver at Stockley Park stating, "Chris Kavanagh, it's Michael," confirming the on-field decision of offside against Andy Robertson. He's in an offside position, very close to the goalkeeper, and makes an obvious movement directly in front of him. Check complete. Offside. Despite the definitive ruling, several pundits have taken issue with the call, including Shearer, who has now aired his views on the incident. Speaking to Betfair, the division's record goal scorer said, "I know they scored a perfectly good goal with Virgil van Dijk. I'm dead against that being disallowed, but they didn't deserve anything out of the game. They wouldn't have got anything on the day, but that doesn't mean the goal shouldn't stand. I just think there's so many things wrong with that decision. It says he clearly has to impact the goalkeeper. I don't think he did. The goalkeeper wasn't stopping it anyway. So, for me, it was a poor decision. I don't think it's sour grapes from Liverpool going to the Pgmol. I just think they're possibly trying to do something in case it happens again. We know that they wouldn't have got anything out the game, but it was just a really poor decision. I thought Man City were miles better than them in probably every position, missing a penalty as well." Liverpool head coach Arne Slot fumed in his post-match press conference and claimed that it was obvious the wrong decision was made. "I think it is obvious and clear the wrong decision has been made," he told Sky Sports. He, Robertson, didn't interfere at all with what the goalkeeper can do. Immediately after the game, someone showed me a goal the same referee allowed for City against Wolves last season. Sunday's defeat at City leaves Liverpool in 8th position, trailing tabletoppers Arsenal by 8 points. Slot will utilize November's international break to reorganize with his available squad before their match with Nottingham Forest in late November. Liverpool get new clear and obvious verdict after Pgmol contact over Virgil van Dijk decision. A new response has been given following the decision to disallow Virgil van Dijk's first-half goal during Liverpool's defeat against Manchester City on Sunday. Former Premier League referee Chris Foy has claimed that there was not a clear and obvious error leading up to Virgil van Dijk's disallowed goal during Liverpool's 3-0 defeat at Manchester City. After Erling Haaland put City in front just before the half-hour mark, the Reds thought they had equalized moments later when Van Dijk headed home Mohamed Salah's corner. However, as Van Dijk reeled off to celebrate with his teammates, assistant referee Stuart Burt lifted up his flag and ruled that Andy Robertson was impacting Gianluigi Donnarumma's view while in an offside position. VAR took a closer look at the incident, but decided that Burt made the correct call and the goal was disallowed, much to the frustration of the Liverpool players and their manager Arne Slot. Indeed, the Reds head coach fumed in his post-match press conference and claimed that it was obvious the wrong decision was made. On Monday, Liverpool contacted professional game match officials LILT, Pgmol, Chief Howard Webb to raise concerns about Van Dijk's disallowed goal. The Reds told the referees' organization that they don't accept the decision to rule the goal out was made for subjective reasons. Now, ex-Premier League official Foy has weighed in with his verdict. While he said he would have preferred if Van Dijk's goal stood, he didn't think there was a clear and obvious mistake. Foy told The Guardian, "There was one big incident that grabbed all the headlines and prompted conversation this weekend in the Premier League. The decision by the referee Chris Kavanagh to deny Liverpool an equalizing goal in their high-stakes match against Manchester City. The decision is massively subjective in my opinion, but not a clear and obvious error. Starting from the top. The ball is in the back of the net after Virgil van Dijk's header from a corner, and the assistant referee Stuart Burt flags for offside. The offside player is Andy Robertson, who is in the goal area. When the ball is headed by Van Dijk, Robertson is standing almost in front of the goalkeeper. He then shifts to his left, shifts forward, and, with the ball about to strike him, he ducks out of the way and the ball ends up in the net. The goal is disallowed on field because the flag went up. But as we know, when goals are scored, they are automatically checked by VAR. To be in an offside position is not an offense in itself. It only matters when you become involved in active play. Robertson was penalized because he was deemed to have made an obvious action that impacted the ability of an opponent, in this case Gianluigi Donnarumma, to play the ball. You can't say for sure whether or not Donnarumma would have got the ball, and for the video assistant referee, Michael Oliver, to overturn the on-field call, he has to have clear evidence that Donnarumma was not impacted. For a VAR intervention, you need clear evidence to overturn a decision, and there wasn't any.